On behalf of everyone from yesterday's EST Hangout, you are welcome, Oil Country. Welcome to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola with you live on location at Boston Pizza, Clareview. You've got Ben Thompson back at EST HQ. Matt Cassian will be joining us from his satellite studios. The Oilers defeat the Seattle Kraken 4-0. A great bounce-back performance after a debacle on Tuesday against the Dallas Stars. Of course, you can text us 780-218-9999. Jump into the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate it very, very much. GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. That is a satisfying victory, Ben Thompson. How did you enjoy that Oilers game today?
Yeah, it was nice to see. One of their most dominant wins, I think, this year. I feel like it's pretty safe to say that. I mean, the Utah Mammoth game was, the first period was rough. Today, there wasn't really There wasn't really a down period. I think maybe the first 8 to 10 minutes in the second period, the Oilers got away from a high shot mentality and maybe got away from their game a little bit. Just trying to
good pushback by Seattle in the early parts of the second period too. Got to give them some credit.
Yeah, and they were trying to build off that momentum that they lost from taking all those penalties near the end of the first and into the second, but. Special teams wins into this game, and I want to highlight a guy that we talked about in the pregame show that touches all areas of the ice, makes his return today, and with him in the lineup, 2 for 2 in the power play, 5 for 5 on the PK, 6 for 6 on the PK. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I think Jack highlighted it on the broadcast pretty damn well. I find it hard to believe it's coincidence that this power play was 2 for 16 when Nuge went down with injury and goes 2 for 2 in his return. He's a big part of the special teams role with the Oilers, and I mean, in my opinion, probably won the game today. So it's nice to see 93 back and the team thriving with him.
Nice to see some feistiness from the Oilers as well, sticking up for one another. You saw them go after Mason Marchment. You saw a couple of fights later in the game. Clattenburg continues to endear himself to Oilers fans, and rightly so. The guy's played his 19th career pro game, 3 of those in the National Hockey League. I think he's quickly winning over the Oilers fan base so far. There goes VR Montenegro. Oh, see him, Mike. Big thank you to VR Montenegro, his lovely wife Ginger, Cal and Sarah for coming down. And I'll tell you what, Benny, we had a really good vibe here today. We gave away some tickets to the Oilers-Bruins game on December 31st. Really, this is a good neighborhood bar kind of vibe here. Everybody gets along. Everybody's hanging out. Everybody knows the staff. Staff comes down and enjoys a beverage or two and a bite to eat, even though they're not working. So big thank you to Lisa. And she also she's very good. She also makes these our schedules at EST, and she's giving them out to people. She laminated them.
Oh, no
She's
way.
like, I'm going to show everybody, because they ask about your station, because they see the sign when they walk in. They see me up with the on-air light. I put it on our Instagram. There's a sign that says with Tom, and they're like, what guy is that? Yeah, CFL at TSN, EST. And so Lisa is very thoughtful when it comes to that.
Very nice.
Jenny. Yes. So a good time. We highly encourage you come down and visit BP Clareview anytime, especially when we're here on location for pre- and post-game show. At Boston Pizza 170th, also a really good time. Great prizes available there. And then whenever at Hudson's, we're always having a lot of fun. So good game day specials, $5 off medium pizzas, $1 off tankards of Molson and Coors Light. All right, let's dive into the game a little bit here. Share your text with us and your thoughts. 780-218-9999. This one from Lonnie in Stoney says, Nuge definitely proved his value today. There's Cal in the Park and Sarah. Bye, Sarah. Bye, Cal in the Park. Thanks for coming, guys. Yes, I agree. I mean, I know people knock him sometimes, but there's a reason why he's appreciated and liked by the guys in the room. I have always said I have a special admiration for him since day one. We're now starting out at Oilers TV that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was starting out his career as a member of the Oilers. So always respected him and what he can do on and off the ice. Great guy. This one says Reid should pick the Oilers to lose more often. Draisaitl must have heard that Reid picked Seattle to win. Dry must have given one hell of a pep talk to the boys in the locker room. You know what? If he did, fantastic.
Good for him.
Dirty Curdy says Jim Matheson should interview Frederick and Maggie next and tell them the fans hate their guts. Maybe their game will come out of that toilet. Nuge, impactful, great energy, and compete. Finally, that's from Dirty Curdy. And then this one says, nothing matters till they win 3 in a row. That's from T-Rav, who adds, I'm happy they won. Glad that Stu played well. Let the team focus on playing well in front of him to help get him the shutout. Let's trade him while his value is high. Slightly improved. Wish I was joking. Yeah, I don't think there is a trade imminent. At least doesn't sound like it. But we shall see. Coach Mike says, dare I say, full 60 by the Oilers. Nuge looked great in his first game back. Hope Nurse gets his edge back after this game. That one from Coach Mike. Let's go to some of the stats from tonight. Obviously, Nugent-Hopkins got the party started with his 6th goal of the year on the power play. The Oilers would build on the lead. Draisaitl, his 15th at 12:30. Hyman getting his first of the year. Draisaitl putting it in off of his skate. That's a power play marker to make it 3-zip. 18:51 time of that goal in the second period. And then in the third, Connor McDavid, a cheeky goal. His 11th of the season from Hyman and Ekholm made it 4-0. The Oilers get outshot 26-25. Face-off battle goes to the Kraken, 55.6% to 44.4%. Like Benny pointed out early on when we started the show, special teams a huge factor tonight. The Oilers go 6 for 6 on the PK. They kill off a 5-on-3, which was a huge part of the game. And then the power play connects twice on 2 opportunities. Hits 19-18 in favor of the Oilers. Block shots 16-11 in favor of Edmonton. Giveaways, takeaways, whatever you want to put into those stats. 15 apiece on giveaways, 5-4 on takeaways in favor of the Kraken. The numbers that matter are 4 for Edmonton, 0 for Seattle. Benny Thompson, what else did you notice about this game tonight?
Yeah, to me, a big time in the game was that 5-on-3. And again, I'm alluding this back to the pregame show because I brought up about how they threw Savoy out there for the 5-on-3 against Dallas, and what does that say and all that stuff. Henrik was in the box and Nuge wasn't playing. They end up actually going on a 5-on-3 today, which I kind of jinxed, but there you go. And Nugent-Hopkins goes out there, and they didn't really have any good looks, Seattle. Like I thought the penalty kill was excellent today for the Oilers, which was a big time in that game where Seattle scores 1 or 2 goals in that power play. Oilers are down all of a sudden. The game's completely different going into that second period, but the Oilers held strong, that penalty kill. I really believe the special teams what drove the game today. Obviously, some 5-on-5 scoring was nice as well. But there wasn't, like, to me, if you're an Oilers fan, like, you don't have a whole lot to complain about today. I know that
satisfying.
It's a satisfying win. It's one of the only satisfying wins we've seen from this team all year. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the second game against Vancouver, maybe that 7-2 win against the Utah Mammoth. Those were satisfying wins. I mean, there's been close, dicey wins, overtime wins, but good point, Benny. Like, there have not been a lot of nights where you think back and reflect and go, geez, you know, they actually dug in, held on, played well, through and through. There was very little letdown tonight, and I like the gumption and spunk and tenacity they showed. To me, the fact that they were sticking up for one another, sticking up for Darnell Nurse when he got run over by Mason Marchment. And then you got the whole Mason Marchment, Zach Hyman angle from last year in the playoffs. Yeah. Not that I think that it had as much to do with this game, but the fights at the end. Regula, he's not a fighter.
No.
He gets into a fight. Good for him. Clattenburg gets into one.
A fighter either, but yeah, I mean, still.
That's okay. He got in there. He held his own. Adam Henrique was mucking it up.
Yeah.
These are good signs.
Yep.
Good signs, in my opinion. So
we talked about
nice to see.
We talked about, like, obviously leadership has been a big thing. Obviously a topic around the past 24 hours. But we talked about how, like, this team we questioned that because there has been a lack of sticking up for each other. Right? And so what does that say about the locker room? Tonight, like you were saying today, we saw, Clattenburg obviously trying to get a name for himself. playing his 19th pro game. Same with Regula, I guess. He's competing against Emberson for a spot right now, and he's currently getting outplayed by Emberson, so he wants to show that he can shed some mitts too. Nurse wanted to go at Marchment. Lazar was getting in there. Henrique almost fought Marchment right when he hit Nurse. That's the type of stuff that I'm happy to see. And I like to think that they would have that mentality even if they were down, right? Like this wasn't just because they were in a happier mood and they're winning. It seemed like it was actually just because they played like a team today and they were willing to stick up for each other, no matter who the guy was on the other side. So a lot of credit is deserved for this Oilers team. But like some of the people saying on the Nasty chat, let's see if they can follow it up. This team has been up and down and up and down, then down for a while, then up and then down. Let's see if they can pull together some wins here in a streak, as they have 5 at home now, which is a good opportunity for them to win some games here.
780-218-9999. Get into the Nasty chat as well. I hope we hear something about leadership from whoever speaks in the media on the availabilities post-game tonight. Let's go into the inbox again. This one from Roland. Is that the first complete team game for the Oilers this year? A couple of people are asking about that. You know, we've seen a couple of them this year. Not many through 26 games. What are we saying? Like 3, 4 maybe, quote-unquote, complete games. Let's go to Conroe, Texas. Says, welcome back, Nuge. Your quiet confidence led the day. Mangiapane looks a lot better playing with Leon than he did with Janmark. Clattenburg has made this whole team 6 inches taller and 100 pounds heavier. Sammy's got a big smile in heaven today. Reference to Dave Semenko, who liked the rough stuff, as we all know. Vinny Vegas chiming in. Good to hear from Vinny Vegas. Says, Mr. Carey Fraser, a.k.a. Tommy, good win. Stu was solid. Nuge, a stud. Good to see him back. Big boost. They played a simple game, where other games they panic time to time. Keep it simple. I need to come meet you guys so I can bring you some gel. Tommy. I only use Swedish hair cream, Vinny Vegas. I only use Swedish hair cream. Stu Skinner, Benny. Stu Skinner tonight. Looked solid, looked composed. His skating, as Joaquin alludes to, that's like the shuffling, the lateral movement. Looked like a confident guy. Saw the pucks. Guys in front of him competing. What'd you notice?
Yeah, just like how we criticize Skinner on this show when we think it's rightfully so. I'm going to do the same here for tonight. Like I think it was a mixture of the defense playing well in front of him and Stu making the saves he needed to make. I only have a couple of big saves he had to make. The Berkeley-Catton breakaway was a nice one where he got across, which was good. Stopped a couple in tight chances, but for the most part, like I didn't think Seattle was overly dangerous tonight, which to me is also a big credit to the Oilers defense, which has been a huge topic of discussion this year. It's how much do you blame the goaltending versus how much do you blame the defense not being able to defend the home plate and all that stuff, right? And they did a great job that today too. So both check marks for Stuart Skinner and check marks for the defense. They both played well tonight.
Funny how that goes hand in hand. When one helps the other and the other helps it. It's this weird thing. It's like the 6th, 7th. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Oh, okay. Anyway, but you get good defending. Your goalie can see the shots. You take guys out in front. Your goalie can cover up pucks that are rebounds. You get that extra save or two that a lot of people have been clamoring for around Oil Country. Good for Stu Skinner, too, considering the attention that has been around him, and not surprisingly so, especially when your numbers are some of the worst goaltending-wise. The Oilers netminders combined, not very good. Reed brought that up on the Hello Hockey show that we had earlier today, and a good response there from the crease from Stu Skinner. All right, this one, let's go to Brian Swain. And Swainer likes to send us a lot of stats, especially we had some good ones actually pregame. Postgame, though, Swainer likes to chip in with some good digs. He's got one for us tonight, Benny. And Brian Swain says, Connor Clattenburg, the first player in Oilers history with at least 6 hits and 7 penalty minutes in less than 7 minutes of ice time. Okay.
I mean, talk about an impact. We've been saying those guys that play those low amount of minutes, they need to do something in the game, right? They need to, or at least you can't cost your team. And
provide something.
Exactly, right? Like add something to the team to help them win. And obviously, right. I know this guy's been brought up a lot. With Trent Frederick, it's often talked about with his low amount of minutes. It's like, oh, okay, what? Like, he doesn't do anything with his 10 to 11 minutes that he plays. Like, why did the Oilers sign up for him? And I get that. Clattenburg's a fantastic example of it. He's not playing a whole lot, but you notice him every time he's out there. He's going and hitting a guy, chirping a guy. He should have scored today. That was
he fired that thing. That was a nice field goal for him.
It was
over the uprights.
But it's crazy what happens when you park your butt in front of the net and look for a rebound. I find that pretty crazy. What happens when you do that, which I think more Oilers need to take on. And obviously that's how he got his first NHL goal against Dallas, and should have had his second one today if he didn't completely miss it. But those are type of performances you like from your bottom six. And having a guy like that, he's making a name for himself. He might stick around with this team. We'll see.
Nice to see Connor Clattenburg contributing with his fists, doing it on the goal column the other night, and he gets his first fight in just 6:36 tonight. I'm looking at 6:38, 6 hits like Swainer was bringing up, and then he also had those 7 penalty minutes. I'm just adding it to his tallies so far. So he's got a goal. He now has 11 penalty minutes. And did he have a plus today? No, I don't think so. I think he ended up even. Yeah, he ended up even tonight. So not bad. A decent run so far for Connor Clattenburg. He's playing with house money, Ben.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
He's just here. He's making an impact. I don't think he's doing anything extra special. Very simple.
Yep.
And it looks like guys are kind of feeding off of that energy. And good.
Yeah.
Good. That's very good. We'd like to see that.
Like what else? He doesn't have a whole lot to lose. This is a 19th pro career game. Who cares? If he gets sent down, it's whatever. He did. If as long as he puts his effort out there, I think he'd be pretty happy. But it's crazy how it's all turned into now being how other guys are feeding off of a 20-year-old on this Oilers team. Who would have predicted that at the start of the year? But I don't know. I guess here we are. But yeah, good for Clattenburg, man. I'm happy he's making a name for himself.
All right, let's go to Chris G in the inbox, 780-218-9999 as the Oilers blank the Kraken. A good bounce-back performance, and now they can settle in at home for a bunch of games. Chris G says, Emberson was the most solid player tonight, should have been one of the 3 stars of the game. And you go over Emberson's numbers and his stat line for tonight. Good to see, by the way. He picks up an assist, +1, 17:59 time on ice. 1 shot, 2 blocks, 1 hit, 1 giveaway, 1 takeaway for Ty Emberson. Let's go to Box Pounder. Says, how much credit for tonight's win should go to the media for the motivation they provided? Cheers, Box Pounder. Cheers to you, Box Pounder. Actually, 0, although it got people going, and obviously there's a lot to discuss this week, but none. It's good on the players for digging in and figuring it out and putting together a solid road performance after a tough loss on Tuesday. But thank you. Appreciate the thought. Let's go to this one. It says, it felt weird seeing a team quit halfway through the game, and it wasn't the Oilers. But well played, well played. Just a quick programming update. We're going to have Reid Wilkins in for Cass. Cass is unavailable this afternoon. And we're going to have Riedrich stop by and give us his take on tonight's game. One more text here says, hey, Tommy, I thought it was a good effort by the Oilers. Glad they didn't let everyone down today. Keep those texts coming in. The Oilers win 4-0, 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat. Nasty chat says, let's go to Mike Smitty. Says, let's hope Skinner gets 2 more shutouts in the next 4 games. Then they can trade him while his value is high. Throw in Bouchard, and they can get an upgrade in goal plus a true defender. I think that's a bit of wishful thinking. Is Reid good to go?
He is good to go.
All right. Our game analyst for tonight. Call this a bonus edition of Reid's Read, brought to you by Ewell. We'll slide that in there. Hello, Riedrich. Thank you you've been clutch today. You came on Hello Hockey. You were on location. And then you jump on the post-game show. What did you think of the Oilers tonight? I know there was some pessimism from some going into tonight, but they got the job done in Seattle.
Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, there he is.
No, I got you. You have me?
I got you.
Okay, I'm doing this on my phone, which I usually don't do, so I'm glad we got it coming through. I'm actually literally in my parents' basement right now, which is not where I live, nor write blogs from. I'm visiting.
You're not Oil Country Dragon Slayer 69?
No, I'm 71. That's my number.
Okay,
71.
My bad.
69 was used. Somebody else must have been second and took 70 because they recommend the next highest number. So I got 71. No, well, I was, I don't know if I was pessimistic, but I didn't pick the Oilers to win on Hello Hockey because I just think like, well, why would I? Until they prove that, I picked the team with the better record that beat them earlier this season. But I thought that was a really good game by the Oilers. I think one of their most complete games of the season. There aren't a lot to choose from, but Nugent-Hopkins returning clearly made a difference. That was the first game they had McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent-Hopkins, and Hyman all in the lineup. And those were the 4 goal scorers, were they not? Did I miss one? No, those guys got the goals.
You got it. Yeah, you did.
So that obviously makes a huge difference. But the thing that stood out most to me tonight or this afternoon was that the Oilers didn't make really any big mistakes. Like I can't think of an egregious turnover or a really bad puck handle or an ill-advised pass. I mean, of course there are mistakes and lost battles. That's part of the flow of the game. But I can't think of a grade A mistake where you thought, oh my God, like what are they doing? They're just handing Seattle chances. I guess maybe Seattle had that 2-on-1 that I think was off a bit of a bouncing puck on a pinch in the first period. That Seattle breakaway in the second period, I think was also kind of a clever play by Seattle with that flip pass. Skinner made a really good save on that one. And the special teams, I know you guys talked about this already, but I mean, that's one of the biggest stories of the game was the special team. Like a minute 45 down 5-on-3 and like really good job. Couple blocked shots, couple deflective passes. Seattle got maybe a couple of decent looks, not awesome looks, but decent looks. And Skinner made the save. I mean, I guess if you were to be critical of anything, the Oilers did take, were they shorthanded 6 or 7 times by the end of the game?
Yeah, discipline.
I think 5 of them were in the first 25 minutes. So the special, and then 2 power play goals. Hyman finally in front of the net gets a classic Hyman goal that goes in off his leg.
He didn't even know.
And then like I said, Skinner wasn't busy in terms of grade A chances, but he made the stops that he needed to make. So this was a good game. I mean, I guess the one thing, if we're talking about the discipline of the penalties, I actually wonder, now I'm often wrong when I try to predict player safety stuff. I wonder if Leon might get fined for that elbow on Marchment, just because he went in there once with the elbow up high and then was kind of like, oh, I didn't get him, so I'll swing my elbow at his head. Like they might look at that and say that's clear targeting of the head. I doubt it would be a suspension. Maybe they look at it for a possible fine, but Marchment's that type of player, which is I think why I'd love to have him on my team, because he agitates and he can score occasionally as well. But it was a good game by Edmonton. Like they outplayed Seattle. I've seen some people in the chat saying, well, Seattle's no good. Seattle didn't play a good game. Well, too bad.
Hang on.
They knew there was a game at 2:00 this afternoon, just like the Oilers. If they didn't show up and perform, well, they should lose. That's part of pro sports.
Listen, Seattle's in that mushy middle that we've been talking about for the last few weeks here, but they were 6-2-3 at home going into this game. They fall to 6-3-3. 11-7-6 they fall to. So 11-6-6. That's clearly better than Edmonton.
Yep.
Or it was. I mean, they're still a point up on the Oilers. They're an okay team. They've got solid players. They've had a good goaltending in Joey Decord. Like, they are not a kind of bottom feeder in the National Hockey League, certainly not in the Western Conference. They're an okay team. They're looking to try to make the playoffs this year. They recognize that the Pacific Division isn't particularly strong and the door is wide open. I don't know why we'd be discounting the Seattle Kraken at this point in the season. That's just my take on them.
Well, and I think where the Oilers are at, you shouldn't discount anybody.
No.
I mean, the Oilers need to win. I mean, they've been crushed by the two best teams in the league, Colorado and Dallas, plus have another loss against Dallas. So that's not good. You're going to need them to show better against the top teams. But, you can't control the schedule. So if you got a chance to jump on a team, and if a team has a off day, well, that's bad on them, I guess. I mean, you got to go out and beat them. Look, the Oilers have played other games this year where I thought maybe neither team was playing great, and the Oilers still lost.
Mm-hmm.
And why they lost was often largely what I said earlier, was because they were the clumsier team. Like they made the big turnover. They made a silly pinch. They couldn't get the puck out. They lost battles along the boards. They were much more efficient tonight. They were. I think, like, I know they use the word connected. Like, I'll use the word sturdy. There just wasn't as much opportunity for Seattle to operate freely when they were attacking.
It is the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. The Oilers 4-0 win over Seattle in the Emerald City. The team will return home for an extended home stand. Tom Gazzola, Reid Wilkins, Ben Thompson with you. You can text us 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat. Lots of you are. Hit that thumbs up. We appreciate it. We're live on location. Boston Pizza, Clairview. We had a fantastic time here this afternoon and continue to do so. Great crowds here. Great crowds when we're at any BP. All of our on locations are fantastic, and we appreciate BP. Lisa did a great job, and the crew here. It's a lot of fun, and we thank them very, very much. Let's go into the inbox again. This one says, now that we've got a win, can we go to an awesome concert at Rogers Place? That's shaping up to be a good Saturday, Tommy. What's going on at Rogers today? Is it yesterday was the Headstones, wasn't it?
I think it's Papa Roach tonight.
Okay.
I think
a lot of rockers going on.
Yesterday was Tea Party
Headstones.
Was it Tea Party Headstones and somebody else? I think it's Papa Roach tonight.
Was and Finger 11 part of this?
Tomorrow, Uncle Roach is Monday.
Oh, well done, Redirect. Well done.
Right.
Okay, well, whoever's going to the
there tomorrow, go support them. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and I think they picked up a win. Was it yesterday?
They played Red Deer. They were in Red Deer last night. Finally,
they won that one.
Long stretch of road games for them.
Chris G says, can we get a Leon hangout with Reid on Monday? Well, you have to ask Matty Iwanek. He does the booking for the hangout. This one says, no worries, as Oilers' soft schedule after Olympics, they will go 19-5 and cruise to the playoffs for another run. So the faith, guys, after a win, a satisfying win, how much is it restored? We're seeing a lot of happy texts. I feel like a lot of people are enjoying today's result and the way in which it was achieved. But how much can you put into one victory as this team looks to finally get to a 3-game winning streak? They need another victory, obviously, on Tuesday to get that second win in a row, which they've only done, 3 times so far this year. But how much faith does this restore, or should it restore any faith in this group?
Well, I mean, they got to do it for an extended stretch. Like you said, Tom, they haven't won 3 games in a row. They haven't played well for 3 games in a row. So now is the opportunity, right? Like if they want us to pick up what they're putting down, then okay, more practice time and now home games. Make it count. Like this, to me, Tom and Ben, this has to be a 7-point homestand.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly at least 6, but ideally 7, because they pretty much have to go 6-4, 6-3-1 in every 10-game stretch between now and the end of the season to make the playoffs, or to give themselves a really good chance to make the playoffs. So if they can play well on this homestand and bank more points, and get through it healthy and just play, solid in all areas of the ice, then I'll start to believe it. Then I'll start to believe that they've turned around. Until they do that, this is still just an inconsistent team. I mean, good today, horrible against Dallas, Pretty good against Florida, and I guess pretty good against Tampa Bay, especially under the circumstances of the back-to-back and the length of the road trip. So, okay, you could give them a passing grade 3 of the last 4 games. Nice, but, playoff teams usually look good and have a consistency in how they play, even if they don't win every night. I mean, most of the games the Oilers have lost, they've had no chance of winning.
Yeah.
So they need to sort of have that, I'll use that word sturdy again, and also just that relentlessness and that consistency where it's like, okay, this is how we play every night. This is we bring this level of effort every night.
Right.
We might lose a game. Some nights we might not get a bounce, but we're able to get right back to that same level performance the next game.
Reed, they have Minnesota on Tuesday. They face this Kraken team again on Thursday. Should be a feisty one at Rogers Place. They take on the Jets, who are struggling so far without Connor Hellebuck. That's on Saturday the 6th. Then they go up against Buffalo on Tuesday the 9th. Detroit to wrap up the 5-game homestand on Thursday the 11th. Then they're off on the road for 5. Then they come home before the Christmas break for games against Vegas and Calgary. It's kind of a bookended home and home around Christmas with the Flames on the 23rd at Rogers and then the 27th at the Saddle Dome. They close out December with a visit to Winnipeg on the 29th and then on New Year's Eve at home to the Bruins. That's a 7:30 start on New Year's Eve. And we gave away tickets today at BP Clareview to that game as well. I hate the New Year's Eve game. It's just kind of
Hate working it?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Reed.
Work it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we'll work it. There's New Year's Eve. There have been road games. There have been home games that have started at 6.
Yep.
Home games that started at 6. There was a home game a few years ago that started at 8.
Yep.
And I remember doing overtime open line until 5 to midnight or 4 to midnight, and getting out to the parking lot. And there was the fireworks show at City Hall going on. There were other fireworks in the Ice District in the plaza. Like 3 getting in my car north of Rogers Place, and I've kind of seen both fireworks shows coming out. That always struck me as very funny for some reason. But yeah,
you love fireworks
on New Year's Eve, and that would have been, that was originally Nugent's game number 1,000, but now that's been pushed back 9 games. Yeah, but I don't know when it would be now.
Yeah, we'll have to look at the schedule for that one. And then I think that takes him out of surpassing Kevin Lowe on the all-time games played list in Oilers history. I think it pushes him to next season, if I'm not mistaken. They get a 4-game buffer, and I think that's gone now. So, Reed, thank you for filling in a pinch. You were clutch today. Good team player, good leader, in my opinion. No complaints from this guy or anyone else at EST. Enjoy the rest of your day. Say hi to Bob and Louise for us, and we'll catch you on Monday, all right?
LOL.
That's my guy right there. Rights, Reed. Rights. Big thank you to Reid Wilkins from the Reid Wilkins Show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, Monday to Friday, 6 to 9, with the glue guy, Jay Milne, and Ice Cube. All right, big thank you once again to everybody who's texting in, 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. We're going to go inside the locker room and hear from Stuart Skinner as he picks up his second shutout of the season. Somebody says, oh, they're playing Fergie's Rugby Club in the background. Yes, they certainly are. Wonder where Lisa got that one from. She must be a nasty club member.
Yep. Has to be.
All right, here's Stu Skinner after picking up a shutout tonight. Let's hear from the netminder.
To be able to respond in this way after a game like Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think it's really important. I think the way that we were composed tonight really showed a lot of maturity, and the way that we were able to bounce back is big. Definitely needed those 2 points.
What did you notice in front of you about your team's defensive game?
Yeah, I thought it was solid. I thought we were able to get in more of a rhythm, obviously, in the third period, just with all the PKs that we had to face in the first and second, and the way that we defended those and the way that we just fought tonight. We had a fighting mentality tonight.
With all of those penalties, was there something specific that you noticed about the way that you guys were able to handle those?
On the PK?
Yeah.
We just I think we were just really focused on our own details, not too much of what they were doing, and just kind of, being in the moment and being able to read off each other, really trust each other, and I think you saw that tonight.
Your shutout tonight, what did you think of the way that you were able to play and also respond?
Yeah, I think it was good. I was able to play a solid game. I thought you saw that from everybody. I think this is one of the games where we were able to, play a really solid 60-minute game.
I asked the same thing to Ryan, but what did you make of kind of the game within the game, the physical stuff, the extracurriculars tonight?
Yeah, kind of started in the second period, obviously. It was great to see. The way that we stuck up for each other, shows the brotherhood in this room. So that's really important to, going all the way.
Brotherhood.
There's Stu Skinner. Brotherhood. Oh, I was hoping to hear a different word, but not the case. Brotherhood's a good one, too. 26-save performance for Stu Skinner, picking up his second shutout of the season. Let's go into the turning point of the game, brought to you by Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977. We're going to go to late in the first period. Benny, the Oilers get into some penalty trouble. McDavid, what is it? It was Kulak first for high sticking.
Yep.
Right? And then they take that too many men penalty while they're killing that penalty. So an extended 5-on-3. McDavid took a penalty later in the period, but they had killed off the 5-on-3. Killing off the 5-on-3, I think, was a huge point in the game because Seattle gets one there, and all of a sudden it's game on and doesn't allow the Oilers to build on their lead. Maybe it shifts the momentum. Maybe there's a sag if they get scored on. That didn't happen. So they get that huge 5-on-3 kill. Special teams were massive for this team today. They go 2 for 2 on the power play, 6 for 6 on the PK, including that stretch where they killed off the 5-on-3. So that's going to be your turning point of the game. Brought to you by Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy. If you need any help with something that's ailing you, maybe you got an old hockey injury, maybe you play ball hockey, which is AKA organized cardio, maybe football, baseball, whatever. Or maybe you're just old and cranky and you need a fine-tuning of your body, you go see the crew at Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977. Benny, you got anything else?
Yeah, I saw quite a bit of talk of when you brought the question up to Reid about, when are you I forgot how you phrased it.
Satisfied?
When are you satisfied? When do you think the Oilers are...
Faith is restored.
Faith is restored.
There you go.
And to me, it's if they could go beat Minnesota on Tuesday, great. I believe Minnesota's been playing pretty well as of late. To me, it's the Thursday game against Seattle. If you can string 3 games in a row together for the first time this year, that to me will show that I can't say they're fully back at that time, but they have some sort of momentum, right? That you have 2 good performances. One ended up in a win, one ended up in a loss against Tampa and Florida. And then obviously that just brutal game we saw against Dallas is your dud for this game summary. And then you go have a good win in Seattle. If you go beat Minnesota and then go beat Seattle again, I would say faith is restored in a proper way. We'll see if that actually ends up happening. But so far, I mean, if you take out that Dallas game, they've played pretty well. Their last 3 or 4 have been pretty good. It's just that one game they did not play well was not good at all.
A little sweetener on this one tonight. It is a 4-point game. So a lot of people saying, hey, lots of 4-point games coming up. This was one of them. They took advantage and made a bit of a statement. I think it's fair to say that. All right, let's go back inside the Oilers locker room. This guy made his return to action after missing a few with a concussion. Let's hear from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Your goalie and Stuart Skinner and the game that he provided you guys today and how important that was.
Yeah, I mean, just steady right from the get-go. I thought we controlled the pace early, but we took some penalties that obviously you need your goalie to be kicking on the PK, so he did a great job of that, and then that kind of fed into his 5-on-5 game and made some big saves when we need him to.
You mentioned those penalties. You guys were able to be perfect on the penalty kill. What was the key to that success today?
I mean, staying within our system, trusting it, trying to keep things outside for sure. And then, like I said, you got to rely on him sometimes back there, and he did a great job. But yeah, I thought we were just trusting our system and working together.
We were able to see the first power play unit, that we're used to seeing all of you guys together. What did you like about what you were able to create, obviously, with those two power play goals?
I think the way that we kind of worked to get pucks back there, that's what started it. It's not always going to be clean and easy, but to get pucks back, then they're out of position a little bit. And I mean, the first one was just a great play by Bushi, but yeah, I think it's going to start with our work, then we can make plays off that.
What does a win like this, 4-0 victory, do after a game like Tuesday night?
Yeah, I mean, this is how you want to respond for sure, no question about it. But now we look forward to the next one, and on Tuesday we'll take a day, obviously, to get a little rest, and then back at it Monday. But yeah, I mean, this is how you want to respond, and shows a lot of good things for our group.
Ryan, what did you make of kind of the extracurriculars happening in this game?
Well, I mean, it started with one hit, obviously, that should have been called, and we're going to stand up for each other. And I mean, I didn't think anybody did anything to kind of put us down and take us out of it, but obviously you're going to stand up for each other and make sure that they know when something like that happens, it's not just going to go away.
I like to hear that. Mm-hmm. Something like that happens, it's not just going to go away. Finally. Right? A little bit of togetherness.
Yep.
You heard brotherhood from Skinner. And then Nugent-Hopkins says it doesn't go away. Good. They remember. They go after guys. They stick up for one another. That stuff matters. And it's nice to see. Really nice to see. This place was full. There's more people coming in for dinner now. But this place was full for the game here at BP Clareview, the lounge.
Yep. On
this 170-inch TV screen back here, which is beautiful. When the big hits were happening, when the scrappy stuff was happening, when the fights happened, this place was at its loudest. Sure, for the goals, they were very happy. But those moments where they were literally throwing fists to defend one another is when people here got the most excited. I think it was refreshing, and I'm pretty sure I speak for a lot of Oiler fans and Oil Country when I say more of that, please.
Yes.
Good to see that they still have it within them. They deserve it. They really do tonight for doing that. So I think it's appreciated by most of the people that were watching that game and cheer for guys in orange and blue. All right, Nugent-Hopkins, by the way, tonight, a goal and an assist. He also played 17-41. He had, two shots, a block shot, as well as went 44% on the dot. Nugent-Hopkins this season, he was actually having a decent year. Had a decent start. Was one of the few guys going. What does he have? Oh, God. This game notes wasn't ready because they didn't activate him until this afternoon.
Yeah.
Nugent-Hopkins this year, 6 goals, 12 assists, 18 points in 17 games now, and remains at minus 11. So there you go. This is updated stats for the Nuge. Benny, anything you want to get to via the nasty chat or the inbox?
I mean, yeah, there's also a little bit of talk. I mean, the ice time tonight. It's nice that the Oilers, I'm looking at the ice time here, like McDavid's at 17:39 tonight. Drysdale hits the 21 market, but like, that's nice to see, right? Like
yes,
the Oilers haven't had, like we've talked about, haven't had too many dominant wins where it's 15 minutes left in the third period and you know the Oilers are going to win the hockey game. It's great that the Oilers were able to go and see that they're going to win this game. Okay, all right, roll all 4 lines. Don't worry about having to, okay, I got to load up here. Ozone draw, it's a tie game. We need our guys out there. Like, it was nice that the Oilers were able to just roll lines. It didn't stop the flow of the game. And that's a credit to them because they got up to a lead and they held on to the lead and they showed that they weren't going to give up that lead. So it's a credit to the Oilers, and I hope that's something that is a trend coming forward because there just simply has not been a lot of Oilers wins where we're sitting there and I get to prep the post-game show going, the Oilers win, and I get to say that halfway through the third period. There has not been a lot of that this year. And
very true.
Today was an outlier.
Put one in that column for the Oil. 4-0 is the final. Let's hear from head coach Chris Knoblock.
Wondering what stood out to you about that and the success that you guys found there?
Well, the special teams were outstanding tonight. Power play and penalty kill. The penalty kill, we had a lot of kills, especially early in the game, and a lot of good reads. I thought everyone was on their toes. Any loose pucks, they were attacking, and there were some chances. Of course, there was going to be some chances, and Stu made some big saves.
What did you think about the response from Stuart tonight?
Oh, really good. I thought, it's tough the other night, giving up 4 goals and 8 shots, but I'm not sure he could have had any of those the way that we played those in front of him. And tonight he just let it all go. He didn't worry about what had happened. Thought he had a couple of good days of practice, and just looked really calm, composed in the net tonight.
Your team had a couple of good days, but afterwards you said, we'll see on Saturday how that all pays off. Now that you've gone through Saturday, what do you think of those 2 days, Thursday and Friday, and how that helped today?
Well, you definitely saw it early in the game. I thought our energy, we had a lot of jump. We had a lot of good scoring chances early, and that momentum kind of got taken away with the amount of penalty kills that we had, which usually having the penalty kill, have those kills, it's okay. You just take out certain guys that aren't out there regular, the Leon Draisaitl, the Connor McDavid, your top guys that aren't killing. You want them to have 5-on-5 time to let them do their thing.
What did you think of the team noticing Mason Marchment after an early episode of bumping into Stuart Skinner? There was a hit on Donner and Lewis. It seemed like everybody was sort of sticking together in regards to backing each other up.
Yeah, absolutely. There was just a little bit of a team identity, sticking to it. Unfortunately, we got. It was nice to see that energy and that excitement and them doing things together.
The timeliness of the scoring tonight. It was like you'd get a big kill and then you'd go back the other way and you'd get a critical goal. I mean, how important is that in a game like this?
Well, in the game, it's so important. You hear about your goalie making a big save at a key time, and I thought Stu made those, and we were able to respond and go back the other way and score. And probably the biggest thing was I guess the special teams, being able to have those kills, and then when we had our opportunities to score, our guys came up and did that.
And 5-on-3, a big turning point for you in your mind?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the score was. At 1-0 at that time, I believe. That's a position that they can score 1, if not 2 goals in that situation with the power play time, because it was almost a full 2-minute 5-on-3, and we had some key blocks. That's part of the reason why Nugent-Hopkins is so important. He had a big. He's part of that kill. He had a big block. He was in on the power play goals. So the special teams, that definitely could have been a turning point, and we were able to kill that.
Damn right it was the turning point of the game. It was the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game, Chris Knoblock. Great minds think alike, as I like to say. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. But it's more so blind squirrel finding a nut. That's another good one as well. All right, there's Chris Knoblock, satisfied, like many in oil country, with his team's performance and the outcome from tonight. Let's get to the Damon Bunting Real Estate Player of the Game, brought to you by Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Ben Thompson, the floor is yours.
Honestly, I think we've talked about the Oilers' struggles as of late, and I didn't think that this guy would have this big of a role in changing that. He's a valuable player here, but I just didn't think it was that drastic of a difference. And who knows? Maybe it changes after tonight. But Ryan Nugent-Hopkins stepped in today and showed why he plays on the power play, shows why he plays on the PK. Was playing a third-line center role today, and I thought he was great at that too. Scores a great goal today off of a ridiculous feed by Bush. That was a beautiful look off to send it over to him. But Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, man, I thought he was the Oilers' best forward tonight. It was great once again on power play and PK. So big props to him, and obviously hope that continues with their special teams and an overall good play. So yeah, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins can be player of the game today.
Nicely done, Benny. Player of the game brought to you by Damon Bunting. Just watching this fight between Michael McCarron and who's that, Logan Stanley. Some big boys going at it. Central Division showdown in Nashville. Winnipeg leading that 1-0. 11 games on the schedule. Let's get you up to speed on things around the National Hockey League. Tonight, the Tampa Bay Lightning earlier in the day defeat the New York Rangers 4-1. Colorado with the 7-2 victory over the Avalanche wearing the Nordiques uniforms at Ball Arena. And then you have the Oilers defeating the Kraken 4-0. No score between Boston and Detroit. Philly and New Jersey tied at 1. 6 minutes left in the first. Pittsburgh hosting Toronto 2-1. The Leaves lead with 8 minutes to go in that first period. Like I just said, 1-0 Winnipeg after that fight with McCarron and Stanley, two big boys throwing some punches, even on the ground with the linesman in between. You like to see that. Utah and St. Louis will tangle in St. Louis, and then you've got Minnesota welcoming in Buffalo. Vegas hosts San Jose. That's an 8 o'clock start, and then LA hosting the Vancouver Canucks to round out an 11-game schedule in the National Hockey League. Let's go to the inbox, 780-218-9999. Coach Mike says, how do the Oilers duplicate this effort? Minnesota game should set the tone for the rest of the homestand. Coach Mike, you hear Remember the Feeling, the passion, and the desire to play for one another. You heard Brotherhood from Stuart Skinner. Tap into that. Don't let it be fleeting. Hang on to that thought. The pride. They can do it. It's there within the room. I know people want upgrades in every position on this roster. I understand that. That's probably only mitigated a little bit after a performance and result like tonight, but it's there. They are capable. That's what's made this so frustrating. They have the horses to get it done.
It's a great way of putting it. I would have it as urgency. Have the urgency to play for each other, like you were saying, but also understand the situation you're in. You guys did not help yourselves in the first quarter mark of the season. Had a lot of bad hockey being played in your first 26 games, 27 games,
25. Yeah,
it's times now.
26 now.
If you want to make the playoffs and show that you're a team that can win the Stanley Cup this year, you don't have a whole lot of time to lollygag and mope around in each game and expect to win. You got to want to win and have the urgency to start collecting some W's here. So, yeah, you have a great opportunity. You have 5 games at home. All these excuses about schedule, here you go. Lay it on a silver platter for you. 5 games at home, all the practice time you want. Go get them. Go get the wins.
Benny's fired up after the Oilers improved to 6-8-3 on the road. They're 5-2-2 so far at home. 5-game homestand coming up starting Tuesday against the Minnesota Wild. 4-0 is the final tonight. You can slide a text or two in before we wind things down. 780-218-9999. This one says, how many goals should we put on Skinner tonight? He probably should have stopped the Hyman one, right? Haha, sarcasm from that text. Yes. He was really good. There was a lot to like from tonight. Not a lot of complaints, to be honest with you. So good to see.
A good change of pace.
Yeah, a nice change of pace. It's quite refreshing. Nixon says, just committed to defending tonight. Offensively, they'll always find a way. I understand, like, the offense will find a way. Offensively, they'll find a way. That should be the case in many years past. That's usually the case. This year, they've had trouble scoring. Mm-hmm. They honestly have had trouble scoring. You talk about they've capped out at 3 goals so many times this year. Yeah. Well, they get that 4th. But not only that, we didn't watch them blow a 1-goal lead. We didn't watch them blow a 2-goal lead. We watched them build on that lead and continue to push. They held the fort when Seattle had a bit of its push in the second period. They held the fort when the momentum was on Seattle's side after all the penalty trouble the Oilers got into. They bent, they didn't break, and then they went and they attacked and were rewarded for it. So that, to me, is great. So I can appreciate that. Benny Thompson, some final thoughts from you going into Tuesday night against the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, kind of just reiterating what I was saying earlier. Just you got to take care of business. Have some urgency to win. You have your 5 games at home here. Like, this is it. This is like, take some wins, collect some W's, turn that momentum around, and have it your way going throughout the rest of the regular season. I mean, this is 3 of 4 games where you've had solid efforts, ones that Oilers fans are walking away from going, they played pretty well tonight. It's just that one bad game that was just talked about for a while.
So bad, Ben. So bad. And it was on top of recent bad performances. Yes. They deserve to get shredded.
100%.
They earned that.
100%. So we'll see if that was just a random dud in all these next games coming up here, or if that's a play against top teams coming to Edmonton. We'll see. They get to determine that on this 5-game home stretch. I'm excited to see what happens if they can string some wins together here. Things can be looking up here in Edmonton and looking a lot better, but we'll see if they actually do it.
Great response from the Oilers tonight after the debacle on Tuesday. You love to see it. Yes, there's all kinds of extra, drama, which is irrelevant, doesn't matter at all anyway. But they got the job done. Whatever helped them be motivated, play as a team, stick up for one another, and pick up a win within the division. More of that, please. Do it again on Tuesday, and then on Thursday, and then on Saturday, then the next Tuesday, and then the next Thursday, then the next Saturday, and continue on, have a strong December, and we can make some of the noise go away. Big thank you to Lisa and Jaden and Tammy and the entire crew here at Boston Pizza Clairview. It's been absolutely tremendous. We always feel at home here. Great crowd. More people starting to walk in. The lounge will be busy. They got the holiday specials menu. The holiday playlist is what they're calling it. Game day specials, as always, at BP's when the Oilers are in action. $5 off medium pizzas, $1 off tankards of Molson and Coors beer, and then they have $5.50 shots as well. Our next on location, December 13th, Boston Pizza, 170th Street. We'll also be back here at Clairview on December 16th. It's going to be Lisa's birthday, and we're going to celebrate that on the 16th. Thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you to everybody who listened. Thank you to everybody who chimed in. We appreciate you. For Reid Wilkins, for Benny Thompson, I'm Tom Gazzola saying enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will see you on Monday. Ciao for now.